moving back to Cohoes. I drink every night. I can't get my fill. Since General Electric had a chemical spill. They say they won't hurt to no one.
You see me, hear me? I'm here.
Get out of your tub, there's a radiation ring. You kids will be born with 6 fingers and toes.
You though.
Packing my bags, I'm moving back to Cohoes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you now. Okay, I think we're good.
Timmy, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. How
I
you
was
doing,
hiding
brother?
there for a little bit, okay? I had to adjust the camera, and next thing you know, I lost everything. You know how it is. You touch something and it all goes to hell.
Yeah, that's the nature of this business. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good here. It's been another week, okay? A lot of things have been going on really since last Wednesday. But, you know, it's good to be able to do this every Wednesday night, stay on a schedule. People know when we're on. So they're on
Yeah,
out there, you know, use the chat, join in.
Yeah, what the hell you doing? Trying to look like me with that hat on?
Yeah, yeah. I
The
thought
hell's-
I
I don't
wanted
want
to
people to, I don't want to be the Bobsey twins here. What's going on? Hang on a minute.
I got something to match my flag in
How's
the
that?
back.
That look better?
Yeah.
Huh?
Hey, yeah, all right. Do I look? I have less hair than you. See that?
Hey, Timmy, look, before we jump in anything, man, there's some breaking news. I want to bring it up. I want to talk about it here. Let me just throw something up on the screen, everybody in Cohoes. Breaking news that we want to discuss.
Yeah, just today. Just today.
It just happened today.
Mm-hmm.
So what we had is a situation.
Breaking news this afternoon: an Albany County judge has dismissed a murder charge against an anti-violence activist. His name is Dante Mitchell, and he was indicted in a Cohoes shooting in August that killed a 27-year-old man.
Tonight, the judge in this case says there was insufficient evidence to support the indictment. Tessa Bentulin combed through the documents, and she has more breaking details.
In this 6-page motion, Judge Ackerman says the people's evidence established a, quote, potential defense of justification to such a degree that the defendant, Dante Mitchell, may have been prejudiced by an unwarranted prosecution. Mitchell was indicted for his alleged role in a gunfight in Cohoes in August that killed Shire Leggett. Mitchell considered himself an anti-violence advocate. He even spoke to News Channel 13 about starting a group for at-risk teenagers. Judge Ackerman's decision also has a description of the surveillance video that captured what happened the night of the shooting. It says, quote, the evidence tends to indicate that the defendant was the first person to begin shooting. However, the video surveillance does not actually depict the defendant shooting. The motion also states, quote, there was simply insufficient evidence presented before the grand jury. 13 Investigates previously reported 2 other people were also arrested in this case. Nalik Seeley was charged with second-degree murder, and the third person, Tyon Baker, was charged in August and pled guilty to criminal possession of a weapon.
So it looks like if we live in Cohoes and we have to worry about people shooting 50 shots at each other like OK Corral, looks like this particular case is getting thrown out of court.
Yeah, everybody walks. Okay.
Everybody's walking. Hey, welcome
so
to.
if you're gonna get in a shooting, make sure it's a gunfight.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, so welcome to the new world we live in, where people just shoot each other in the middle of the streets. Now, Andra Ackerman, I don't know if you know her, but I gave her her first job as a judge in the city of Cohoes.
Yeah.
And then
here's
she got
right. And look, not to interrupt real quick, but here's what she says. Okay. There was a shooting. She goes, the victim, an acquaintance of the co-defendant, was shot and killed with bullets from the co-defendant's firearm. That's what she said. It makes no sense. So anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Well, I don't even know what it means. So they both pulled out guns. They both started shooting. Everybody's shooting up the whole street.
Yeah, it's a gunfight.
And we just throw it out of court.
Yeah, it's
because what, we don't know who shot first?
Right, that's what it is.
What about the fact that you have a bunch of illegal guns, people just shooting guns wildly out in the middle of the street?
And you
That's
got
not
a
enough.
dead person. You
That's
got
not
a
enough to put
murder.
you in jail no more.
Right.
So Andra Ackerman, I gave her her first job as a judge. Then when she got promoted, she didn't know my name.
Uh-huh.
That's the kind of welcome to the world of politics. Maybe I see why that she. I'm glad she doesn't know my name, because if she's letting these people out on the streets to just shoot each other and then say, well, I don't know who shot first. How about they should both be in jail?
Right. I mean, the lesson learned is, look at, if you're going to murder somebody, bring a friend, and then load up your pistols and make sure you have 7 rounds or less. Okay, and just get into a gunfight,
Yeah, that's what it
and,
looks like.
and everybody walks.
I have no idea what the final result will be. They
Yeah,
have to. They have to at least prosecute these people
for
for
the
having
guns.
illegal guns, right? So I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
imagine that Andra, the judge who don't remember who I am, the guy who gave her a career start, had to read it and say, "Hey, I have no idea what to do here. I'm going to throw this thing out," and then somebody else will be prosecuting the illegal guns, because in Albany County, I thought it was an automatic 5 years if you have an illegal gun. I know that David Soares is a big stickler for people having illegal guns. So, why it sounds like this guy's walking, I wouldn't, not so fast, my friends. I still think something's going to happen where they have to
yeah. There's
keep this
something
guy in jail.
further in the article that says that it ain't over. Okay,
Yeah.
now what part of it ain't over? I don't know. It could be the guns. They're talking about getting a new grand jury, I guess, to review the evidence, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, hopefully it's in front of another judge.
Yeah,
Imagine that's a judge that lives in Cohoes.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
listen, I guess I shouldn't blame her because I don't know enough about it, but it just sounds funny when I read the article, because I certainly didn't understand what she was trying to say. That the defendant's gun was the first gun fired, but I don't know if that was the first one to shoot. It was
Maybe
kind of
the
confusing.
newspaper misquoted her, but in the newspaper it said the co-defendant, okay, a co-defendant fired his gun, okay, and the kid, the person that was killed with a bullet from the co-defendant's gun. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean,
Yeah,
the reality is,
yeah,
we have the Wild Wild West down on Main Street,
yep,
and that Wild Wild West put a lot of lives in danger.
yeah,
One young man is dead. 2 other people have been arrested, right? So it wasn't just
yep.
2 people. There's a whole shitload of people down there shooting at each other. And it just seems to fit the narrative of today's society. Somehow they walk away from the murder charge.
I'm thinking maybe she's related to Charlie Valenti.
Well, listen, when I appointed her, she didn't know anybody in the city of Coast. And I'm going to say all kidding aside, she's a very smart woman, smart judge. Thinks she's done outstanding work, just busting her chops a little because they forgot who I was after I got thrown out of
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
But there had to be a good reason behind it. But it doesn't make sense to me, because society today, the world we live in today, is so screwed up, where people are just going out there and they're shooting each other and robbing stores and beating the shit out of each other.
yeah. And,
Uh,
right,
this
and
says
if you
her.
really
So
right,
Tedster said her hands are tied with the DA's lack of sufficient evidence. Right.
yeah, yeah.
That could be the case. I don't know, Tedster. I don't know that to be the fact. I just wanted to report to the people of Cohoes that somebody who threw a gun up in the air and shot it about 45 times in the middle of the street is now not being prosecuted for the murder of that young man. So
Yeah, and look at, I could even come back to something less violent, like how 95 Remsen Street, the old Cafe Monaco. I mean, a few people went in there, literally gutted that place, cut wires, cut plumbing, no crime. So I,
well,
I just don't know what it takes for for people to be held accountable now.
common sense people can't figure out what it
Yeah,
takes anymore.
yeah,
Raise the age, bail reform, talk
hmm
to John McDonald, talk to Neil Breslin, talk to all these, kiss asses who are looking for votes. Timmy, let me just tell you something. All that is happening in the country today has nothing to do with crime, with race, or any of that nonsense that we hear every day. It has to do with how much money can be funneled into the campaigns of these political figures by supporting things that will make them money. There's a lot of people making lots of money off immigration. There's a lot of people making lots of money off of bail reform, youth programs, all of these programs that are now popping up because of this bail reform and raise the age. It had nothing to do with trying to find a level playing field. Like if you're a millionaire with, $100 million in the bank, you're going to bail yourself out anyway. So what's the difference, right?
Yeah, well, right now you got a lot of immigrants in the Albany County Jail, but look at Shawn. Where are these two guys going to go now that no charges? They coming back into Cohoes?
Well, I don't know.
Who
I don't know.
knows?
I have no idea if the charges for the other
Yeah,
instances, like having the
we'll have to
gun,
see.
All
All
reckless
I know is
endangerment.
the best thing to do right now is to stay off Main Street.
Stay out of the city of
Yeah,
Cohoes. Stay out of the downtown,
right. Yeah.
because it's a nightmare.
Hmm.
A nonviolent advocate involved in a gunfight, Sean. That's absolutely right. That's what we talked about when it
Yeah.
happened. This guy's supposed to have come out of prison and seen Jesus and had an epiphany, and he wanted to be the guy who helped young kids not get involved in gun violence. And sure as shit, he's down there killing people. Or I shouldn't say that now, because it looks like maybe he didn't
Maybe
kill anybody, but
they don't know who.
only time will tell. And I hope that they can figure it all out. Timmy, I got to pop you back into a couple of these videos, because you popped out on me when you lost all of your power. So I want to jump into something, Timmy, because we talked about this the other day, right?
Mhm.
And it's really, to me, it's sad. It is. It's really sad. So, the city of Cohoes is really seen a decline in the downtown. I call it the city shame, because they should be shamed. We should shame them on this show into doing the right things, but they are just, they don't care,
Hmm.
right?
Something.
So
Yeah.
so they're deciding, like, because there's some pressure that they have to do some stuff for the holiday season, right? So they have this I
Jingle.
laugh at jingle balls, rock the block, jingle balls,
Right.
whatever the hell it is.
It's jingle, jingle, rock the block.
And it's been nothing but an epic failure. And nobody's surprised that it's been an epic failure, because they failed with everything they've done when it comes to promoting the city. So most people don't even know these events are going on, right?
Yeah, they
But
throw it
here,
on their Facebook and they expect people to go there, and then they show up. Doesn't work that way.
and here we have like a $3 million park that we built just 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. One of
Yeah.
the nicest parks in any downtown in the capital region,
That's true.
right? And it's become a homeless drug den, homeless shelter, fights, kids wrecking it. They broke all the instruments in the park. They dented up the siding by
The
kicking
dog,
it. And
right.
so it's really become a sad state of affairs in this
Dog
beautiful
food
park.
park too. So
Right,
anyway, yeah.
just a couple hundred feet from the mayor's front window, where you can watch it all day long.
Mhm.
He must be got his head up his ass like usual, but they're going to have this Christmas rock the block stuff where they're going to sing jingle bells and have this great,
Yeah,
downtown. First of all, if you drove by it, they don't even have a decoration in it.
right. Nothing. I just took those vertical light poles that you had put in and wrapped fabric and
Well,
make them
they could
look
have
like
made,
candy
they could have
canes,
put, listen, in that grassy area where
Yeah.
they have all the seats, they could have put, blow ups animals of reindeers and Santa Claus and Rudolph, and they could have put all kinds
Yeah.
of things in there.
Bring
They
the
could have
kids
lit.
in. Yes.
Yes, it could have been lit up like the downtown Christmas
Like
wonderland.
Silliman
Zero.
Park. Just like
Zero.
right. They could have made
Zero.
it look like Silliman Park.
Well, then have the stuff at that park that you decorated.
Yeah.
Don't have it over in the park that looks like it's just a rundown drug festival over there, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but I don't want to be the one that says nobody showed up. So we got a little video, I think, Timmy.
Yeah, there is.
I want to show this video.
No, I work with music hall.
As you can see, there's a lot of people there. So far, I counted 4. But I want to show you something that really pisses me off. Look over there, the garbage cans laying on the ground. There's fat ass Steve Napier, who put the whole thing together. He's the only one there.
And it's not my job with the garbage can.
Yeah, there's no one else there,
Okay.
right? So there's the little group singing, okay?
Mhm.
And there's the amount of people that showed up, about 7, okay? And I took different angles so you could see that there's no one there. But take a look at that. That's there.
Mhm.
Cohoes
Right there in the
Pride.
sidewalk.
Cohoes
there,
Proud.
smack on the sidewalk.
Right, right next to Steve Napier, standing right by the garbage can, laying on the ground. There's more garbage on the ground than
Yeah,
people.
no
And
incentive to pick it up.
if you
Not
don't
my job.
find this to be shameless, then I don't know what else to tell people. To me, this is shameless.
Mhm.
This is as bad as it gets. You have a half-ass, concert. You don't care about anybody seeing garbage laying on the streets. There's no mayor. There's no nothing. You don't even decorate. There's 7 people up there who are singing, giving it everything they got to nobody. To nobody.
Yeah, yeah.
A knocked over garbage can, a couple people holding a couple cans of beer, somebody smoking a joint, and 3 people from Ogden Mills.
And
Other than that, it
right,
was dead.
and there was there was a show right after that. I don't remember the first part of it, but it's something like Honk on Honeys or whatever. That was a 5 o'clock show. So not a soul was there. It was dark. The that group, or which I believe, I don't know what it consists of. They weren't there performing, so it either got canceled or no show. I doubt
They
it.
didn't show up. People didn't
They
show
weren't.
up to me because it's an embarrassment. Now this is the
Yeah,
second week that we discussed it because I,
right.
I
And the
said, you know
group,
what, maybe
the group
last
itself
week.
didn't show this time too.
Well, I thought maybe
Yeah,
last week was a fluke.
yeah, it was.
They did absolutely nothing between last week and this week to try to promote these things, and it was an embarrassment. The downtown is a disgrace. It's crime ridden. It's disgustingly dirty. There's garbage cans laying. You think that anybody with any kind of couth would have said, "We're having that concert tonight. Make sure the garbage is all picked up."
And Sean, the first event down there, okay, which I think was December 3, okay, there was 2 vendors there. One had a set up tent, and then there was another one that were kind of like down where across from the old Sweet Happy Days.
Yeah,
Okay,
John Lodge, you're right.
right. There was no
Most
no
proud.
vendors there at all this time. So what happened is they show up as vendors. Nobody we ain't coming back, and they didn't. It's because it's been a promotional disaster.
It's a promotional disaster because they choose to make it a promotional
Yeah.
disaster. You got to love this city beyond belief to put in the hours that you need to make these things happen. You
Yeah.
just can't. You just can't throw it up on Facebook, dude. I'd go over and pick weeds
Mhm.
before Rock the Block, so there'd be no weeds in the sidewalks. We'd be over there for 6 hours making sure that the place was beautiful, and people would say, "What a beautiful place to come and watch a concert." These guys
Yeah.
have a garbage can tipped over on its side with garbage spewing out all over the sidewalks while the fat ass who runs it is standing right there.
Yeah, and we got Sean Van Sweet saying, geez, since the mayor got his 20 grand Christmas present from McCarthy, he's been a no-show to the downtown events
Yeah, I
for
bet your
extra
ass.
duty with the
He was a
crew.
no show before those.
Yeah.
Timmy, let me come right back to you. But before we go any further, man, I just want to ask people, hey, subscribe to our channel. It's really easy. Hit the subscribe button, join the show. You'll know when the new shows are up and running. You'll get a little alert when you hit the subscribe, hit the bell. Really simple. Help us grow. We're starting to grow beyond belief. It's really great to see so many people watching the show from all over the place. They're not just from Cohoes, man. It's Capital Region. We got people even from the Philippines, and it's pretty cool. So please hit the subscribe button, join the show. So there was a couple other things going on, Timmy, that you wanted to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
look I want to just clean something up real quick. I got a call from Gil Ethier just 2 days ago. He said, Tom Fife won the election. Okay, there's all kinds of rumors about this and rumors about that. He's going to be sworn into office just like everybody else. He's going to take his seat. There's talk of some kind of vote to get rid of him off the council, which is not going to happen. They're powerless. And other threats. Tom, stop listening to these people on out there. They don't know what they're talking about. There's no chat. Gil is saying there's no chatter in City Hall that he's talking about those people down there. There's no chatter about anything regarding you not being seated and
Listen,
any consequences of it. Go
first and
ahead.
foremost, there ain't anybody in this city that has the power to unseat what the people of Cohoes have voted for.
Right. He was elected.
Rulers of this town, not
Yeah.
Billy McCarthy or Justin Alicio
Yes.
or Billy Keeler. I
Right.
hear rumbles, but it's all just nonsense. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you something just so you know, because I was the president of the Firefighters Union,
Mhm.
and I was a member of the Albany County Legislature at the same time I was a fireman. And I know that you can be a fireman and still hold a city council seat because it was argued out of Glens Falls when a firefighter fought the case in PERB, which handles public sector employment and unions and
Right.
all of that stuff. PERB ruled that if you don't want a fireman to be on the city council, it's got to be bargained because they're a union. And that's a term and condition of employment. It would say this is a term and condition of employment. You can't hold a city council seat the same time you're a fireman. There's firemen all over the country that hold city councilman seats,
That's
right?
true.
And the bottom line is Tommy Fife can be a council member and he can be a firefighter. Neither one of them clash. None of them have any issues that deal with whether he can vote for this or he can't vote for that, because the courts have ruled that a member of the city council who is also a member of the fire department is not barred from voting on fire department budgets or fire department equipment or fire department raises for that matter, because it's not between the city and one man. It's between the city and a union.
Yes,
And Tommy Fife is only one man, one vote within that union.
that's true.
So they don't find that to be a conflict. And I know this stuff because there was a time when I was going to run for city council and I was a firefighter. And my Uncle George Primo came to me and said, Shawn, it's really not your time yet. We really wish you'd sit back. You got a bright future, but Danny DiCero is going to run for this seat. And we really like to support Danny. And if you'll just, take a back seat, let Danny take this, your day will come. And I loved my uncle and I understood they had a plan and they were trying to build this great team. And Danny was a great guy and he was going to, be a good council member. But before I even told them that I was going to run, I spent a lot of time, a lot of resources making sure that I could. So anybody who says that Tommy Fife can't be a fireman and be a councilman at the same time is sadly mistaken. That Claudia woman down the island, she's short a few pennies. She just rambles on and rambles on and rambles on, posts stuff on Facebook.
Right, and she keeps quoting, the charter says that, but she never quotes a single statute within that charter.
Because the charter doesn't say that.
Because it doesn't say anything about it. It's silent on that, Shawn. Totally silent.
Well, it's not silent to me. I would beg to differ. It is not silent. It says you can't hold two offices.
Well, he's not holding two.
That's right. A fireman is an employee. He's a civil service employee.
Yeah.
It's not an office. He's not holding the office of county legislator and city council member, right? Ray Daniel was a firefighter. He held a seat on the school board.
Yep. And
Right?
Yeah, he did. Yes.
So that's one's an office, one's a job.
Right.
I mean, so the bottom line is it's been done more than one time. Tommy Fife was elected by the people. Nobody has the power to remove him, hurt him, go after him. If they want to sue and say he doesn't have it, let Justin Alicio spend his own money and sue.
So,
Let the city sue. Let somebody sue. Tommy's going to go to the city council meeting on day one. He's going to do his job. And if they want to throw him out, let them spend their money to throw him out.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, he's going to do his job. He's going to do it well. And it's flabbergasting to think that anybody thinks that they're above the residents of the city who voted for him.
Yeah,
they knew he was a fireman.
Right. And you got Claudia down there, okay, and others, and including Justin. Look at the writing was on the wall, okay? Justin lost 2 elections, okay? Hey, give him credit for reaching the pinnacle of becoming a councilman, but look, it's time for Justin, for you to walk away. You did your duty, and let the people's choice go down there, take care of business for the 6th ward. And that's just it in a nutshell. There's nothing they can do. And Gil Ether even told me there's nothing that they can do. If they could try something, but it's unlikely he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think Tommy's in a good place. Yes. I think some people are just trying to figure out how they get their seat back by not being elected, and that's a sad state. Look, you lost the election, move on, support the guy down there, and let's start working on bringing our city back. That's what the focal point should be, because in 3 years it's going down the tubes, man.
Yep.
And we need to get it back. We can't have people shooting 40 bullets down on Main Street and jingle balls without nobody there and garbage cans kicked over. It's time for people to step up and take their city back. Yeah. And that only happens when the people are engaged, period. If you just let these guys do what they want, they're going to take $20,000 raises. They're not going to do nothing. They don't care about you. They're going to pad their pockets. And 2, 3, 4 years from now, they walk away. And
Okay,
what's
well, look,
left is the
Shawn,
shit that you have to
right.
deal with.
So long, Shawn, let's just touch briefly on the floating solar that was just recently approved. Okay, now we've been looking at the letters and stuff. I got one right here, and between both of us, um, basically what it seems to be is we're getting a completely free system. But I think you and I both know nothing's free. So we
Yeah.
really
So,
haven't been able to figure out what this all means.
so look, I think if this is legit,
Yeah,
it's really a great thing. And
it
I
is.
applaud the city, the administration, and more importantly, I applaud Tonko, Congressman Tonko, because he's the one who led the charge for this, right? Everybody knows he's the energy guru, right?
Yeah.
He was in the assembly, and then he left, and they appointed him the head of NYSERDA. And then that was probably too much work for him, so he got out and went back to the to be a congressman, right?
Yeah.
But it's a good thing, and I applaud Keeler and the council and everybody who worked really hard to make it happen. But there's some issues with it, right?
Mhm.
Things that we don't know about. One of them is this, right? One of them is they like to bullshit, just
Yeah.
like they did with the
LED lights.
with the LED lights, right? Now we've had that discussion 2, 3, 4 times over the
Yeah.
course of our podcast
Yep.
that tells the people they are not really making money.
No, they're losing.
There
money.
is a savings, but it costs $6 million to save 200,000 a year,
Mhm.
right?
And that's what's happening.
And that 6 million cost 400,000 a year for 20 years. So
Yes.
for 20 years, they are actually paying 200,000 more a year
Yeah,
for what they would have paid if they just left them alone.
that's true.
But they couldn't say that they're green or they, that they're saving energy or they're saving the freaking
Yeah.
world, right?
Right,
So now
yeah.
Cohoes is saving the world, but we're losing 200,000 a year. Now, on the surface, they can say we are saving money, Tim, because
Yeah.
the lights were 450, now they're only 250. So see, we cut 250 out. Yes, you did. Congratulations. But there's an expense to cut them out, and that's 400,000 a year.
For the bond, yeah.
For the
loan.
bond. So until that 400,000 is gone 20 years from now, you're losing 200,000. And by the time,
Yes.
20 years comes, you're not even going to be close to breaking even because the costs are going to go up. The lights are going to go out. The maintenance is going to kick in. So we know there's a lot of bullshit when politicians spend your money on these, these save the world type projects.
Yeah.
So now for the first time in the history of solar, I think, I'll stand corrected.
Well, they're saying it is historic in this country.
So for the first time in the history, they're going to put floating panels on top of a city's drinking water.
Domestic water, yes, they are. It's never been done before. That's what they're saying.
Right. So I don't know
all
if
of us
that.
guinea pigs.
Yeah. So Cohoes guinea pigs, right? Now I don't have a clue if these solar panels will affect the water. Right. The water comes from the river. It gets treated put into the reservoir, sucked out of the reservoir, cleaned 100%, put up into the tanks. We drink it, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, here's what I could tell you is known. Okay, they're going to be mounted on some kind of polyethylene type of pontoon platform. Okay, to maintain the angle. But these solar panels, after all and said is done, maybe has a 15, 20-year lifespan. Shawn, you can't recycle them because they're not practical. There's a lot of toxic things in there that recycling farms play. They can't make money on recycling solar panels.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do in 15, 20 years? Well, I'll probably not be around to worry about it. Okay. But it does present problems down the road. But look at it. If we're going to get this thing and it's not going to cost us any money, it's going to save us a lot of money. Good for us.
Yeah, I think on one hand, I want to say congratulations. On the other hand, we've asked for some answers and we don't get the answers. We get, the political bullshit, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is
That's
there a
what we
cost to it? Do we have to lay money up front and we'll get money back in the back end?
Yeah.
They tell us it's going to be cost zero, but there's tax credits, there's this, there's that, there's a whole bunch of stuff. You won't get this money till the project's fully paid for. Well, who's paying for the money? So there's
and look at it's a $7.5 million project, right? A little bit more than that.
Yeah.
$7.5 million. So I find it hard to believe that we're getting a system completely free, and then the power that we generate is going to be used in a city to pay all these other things. I got to imagine that some of that power that's generated, some of that money has got to go to help pay towards this system.
Yeah.
Because
So,
but we'll see.
yeah, here's what I do know.
Yeah.
This is going to be up at the reservoir.
Yep.
Nobody knows for sure what the end result will be. This is our drinking water. We are kind of guinea pigs. What happens when birds are shitting all over these things and it's going in the water? Animals making homes out of them. Is there going to be any
That
kind of
will happen.
toxic moss? Is it moss or
Well, they
fungus
say
or
it'll be less algae and less.
algae? Right.
But look, algae grows on non-moving water and heat.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just don't know. I don't want to be critical. I
Yeah.
want to say this sounds really cool. And I think it's really cool that the city's involved in it.
Yeah.
Will it be really cool 2 years from now?
Might
That
be, yeah.
remains to be
We'll
seen.
see.
I am a skeptic because of all of the nonsense that they talk about with the other savings. I know that's
It's
not
going to
true,
require maintenance, Shawn.
but
It just
yeah,
doesn't sit there.
there's a lot to it. Let me just tell you. I'm going to put up a picture, Timmy. Here's a picture of the actual announcement, right?
Mhm.
And you could see Taco is there, and you got Keeler standing up there. Well, I don't know what he's mumbling, but I think what he's mumbling is, I want you to look behind me because the best part of the filtration plant is that beautiful tower with that big Cohoes Proud logo on top.
Yeah.
And I want you to just take a good look at that because God knows he's trying to get the Mr. Eraser and get rid of that. So I don't know how long that's going to be there, but it is certainly the best part of that picture. Which is that beautiful Cohoes Proud sign, because, there's some of us that are still Cohoes Proud. And
I think 3 of the tanks that are going to be repainted or whatever like that.
yes, I just,
Sean Higgins posted some things on my page, and it was good to finally see a council member go on out, dig some information. Now, he's a council member elect.
yeah.
Okay. You go on out, dig some information, and he put it up on my page. And it answered questions. And I like that because you got someone that's proactive, okay? That's wants the people to see what's going on, and he did that. I want to
Yeah.
give him
Well,
credit.
I knew that the money was set aside to redo because when I
Yeah.
was in office, that's what we were doing, setting money aside, getting grants to redo all of the water towers.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm just trying to be a clown here, a jokester. But I do know he tried to erase every single thing that says Cohoes Proud on it. And the only thing that I keep hearing is how bad he wants to get it off that water
Yeah,
tower.
that's
So
killing him to see that
it
thing.
is. So if you see him climbing up the water tower
Yeah,
with a big
like
Mr.
Spider-Man,
Eraser,
right?
you
Look
know
up
that
going
it's
up there with Spider-Man with a matching color spray paint can.
he's trying to get rid of the Cohoes Proud. But hey, listen, there's a couple things that I think people should think about, right?
Yep.
So unfortunately, the OK Corral with the shootout, it
Yep.
looks like those people have been the murder case has been thrown out. More to come on that. Listen, Tommy Fife, you won the election. You deserve to be there. We look forward to having you there and what you'll do for the island.
And stop
Um,
listening to these the losers down there filling your head with all this stuff there. Okay, you're good to go, and don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I think this whole floating solar panel,
Yep.
that's going to be interesting at best, and
Mhm.
see what happens. It's a $7 million project going on in the city, and
And, and
eh,
and look at, I don't want to take you off track, Sean, but you know about this yourself too. If you recall, it was way back, I think, during the McDonald thing, where the council members had some kind of health insurance. Okay. And there was rumor, oh, they're going to take health. But I just wanted to tell you, there was a time where the council did have health
well,
insurance.
there was a time when the city council members
Yeah,
did receive health care.
right.
And then there was a moron council member who
Hmm.
decided he thought for his political career, if he took away the health care from all of the council, including himself, that he would get some kind of big kudos.
Yeah,
What he ended up getting is that everybody else had health care from another source, and he was the only one left with no health care. And it was
right,
on the bottom of the 7th page in the Times record. So,
right,
yeah,
right.
so they used to get health care, now they don't. But Tommy Fife's a full-time firefighter. He's going to retire a full-time firefighter. He's going to stay there as long as he wants. He's going to do both jobs as long as he wants. And when he's ready to get out, he'll get out. He won't
Right.
get out because Justin Alicio or
Right.
Brian Kremer or
And
Keeler
right.
or
And
anybody
he's
else tells him he's
absolutely
got to get out.
right. And his medical condition is all of that stuff that's guaranteed by his
Yes, that's got
collective
nothing to do with
bargaining
it.
agreement.
Just you won the election.
That's it.
Go be a council member. Do the best you can. Make us proud.
Yep.
And don't worry about the rest.
Anything else, Shawn?
Hey, Timmy, that's our 30 minutes tonight. A little longer than 30 minutes. Appreciate you jumping on with me. Appreciate you
Yeah.
doing a little homework on some of these things. To all the people watching the show, please remember what I asked. If you just jump over and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. We're getting up there. Love to see another 100 people in the next couple weeks. That would be fantastic. And until then, I'm out of here.
Okie doke.
Okay, Timmy, it's
Take
good
care.
to see you, man. Take care, everybody.